Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Sound Corner Podcast, the number one alternative music podcast hosted by Chris, Michael, and Blake.
What's up, everybody?
Hello.
How's it
Also,
going out there?
I saw our new name is the Florida Podcast.
The Florida alternative music. I have to put down stress on us being an alternative music podcast, because if we were just a regular music podcast, we'd have to talk about like jazz and stuff, and I can't do that. I'm not educated enough for that.
Don't do that.
You were a drummer. How are you not going to be able to talk about jazz?
I cannot play jazz. My jazz band teacher's face would turn red every time I attempted to play anything on the drums.
To be fair, I think he was like that with everybody, but he also ended up dating one of his students, so...
Yeah, and then they...
You know what? Never mind, that's Florida.
Yeah, and then they fled away from Florida. I think they moved to, like, Washington.
And they got married.
Yeah, they got married.
They have
that
kid.
man
was literally like, I'll wait for you. And it's like, my brother in Christ. Like, she wasn't
This
even
man was
legal.
playing fucking Bro Ashley's here in fucking real life.
So in short, I can't play jazz music, so we talk about deathcore and folk music and pop punk instead.
Oh, no. I just thought of a terrible thing, and that was that he was teaching you, like, paradiddles, but that wasn't the only thing that he was diddling.
Well, thanks to him, I do know how to do paradiddles and double stroke and almost triple stroke. Not quite.
I'm sure his now wife was learning a lot of that too.
Yeah,
Yeah. I'm gonna show myself out now.
So before we get started, we got some music news going on today. I pulled my notes are gone. I totally lost my notes. Let's start with kind of like the biggest one of the week. The Mars Volta, a Texas-based prog rock band, came back with a new single called Blacklight Shine. What do we think of that?
Life is good now that the Mars Volta is back. I was like getting ready to like see the end of the tunnel there, and they're like, "Hey, we're back," and I'm just like, "Yes, please."
Yes, hello.
Absolutely. There have been some rumors for a little bit, especially when the whole like Mars Volta vinyl catalog got reissued and repressed. There was a lot of rumors that they'd be coming back, but definitely happy to see them come back. Definitely happy to see a new song, first new song in 10 years. We got tour dates. I'm really fucking excited because now I might actually get to see them live one day.
I thought this was a fantastic way to push promotion for the comeback. I saw online that they unveiled a mysterious black box in the center of Los Angeles, and you had to step inside. And once you step inside, it played 3 minutes of a new Mars Volta song? Turns out the song is like 3 minutes long, so I think it was the entire song they played. But how cool is that?
Or maybe it wasn't, because I think the Mars Volta have this history of when they release singles, the singles are kind of like 3 or 4 minutes long, but then on the album, the actual song will be like 10 minutes long. Or at least that's how old Mars Volta used to be. They've kind of become a little bit watered down, I think, as they neared the end of like their first run. But yeah, I actually ended up on Mars Volta TikTok somehow, and this girl was posting about how she had gotten the coordinates for the box or something, and then went there, and it was the new Mars Volta song, which is super cool.
Yeah, that's really cool. I also wanted to talk about Craig Owens fronted post-hardcore band Drugs, Destroy Rebuild Until God Shows released their second full-length Destroy Rebuild this past Friday, and this was like the first time they released anything in about 10 or 11 years. And it was really good. I really enjoyed the record. It wasn't as heavy.
It's the first actual thing I've listened to from that band ever, or anything in general, besides like 3 Amorosa songs by Craig Owens. That's it.
Oh man, Drugs' first album is super solid, but also Chiodo's. I know we've talked about Bone Palace Ballet on here before. That's a great album too.
Yeah,
he was very talented.
He did front Chiodos. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, not Amorosa, but Chiodos.
No, he was in Cheetos.
Well, for three of their 4 albums.
Okay.
Yeah, then they had some dude on like the third album called Illuminatio. That's a stupid name. Stupid name for a stupid album. I didn't like it.
Ooh, edgy. Yeah, no, that's the worst. It's the worst album in the catalog for sure.
But the Drugs' new album, Destroy Rebuild, necessarily wasn't as heavy or aggressive as their debut record was, but it was good old like Craig Owens vibes. You know, it passed the check.
It passed the vibe check.
I really liked it. And I also heard today, I didn't get a chance to listen, but I guess everyone's favorite band, Spirit Box, released the song like in the last hour. I was supposed to check it out, but
Do you say everyone's favorite band like it's not your favorite band too?
I don't know, man. The singles were good on
I'm gonna hit y'all. I'm gonna hit y'all with it. Spirit Box, good band. No one would give a shit if it wasn't Courtney LaPlante and her husband.
Oh yeah, no, backed 100%. If it wasn't past members of I Wrestled the Bear Once, no one would care, I don't think.
Yeah. I mean, I mean, she's phenomenal live, and I absolutely love. Had a like I think 9 or 10 year old girl on America's Got Talent like
Yeah.
a week or two ago. And ironically, my mom sent me the link, and I'm like, I've seen this, but yes.
I
And
really
she
liked it.
ripped Holy Roller on America's Got Talent. This like 10-year-old girl, and then Spirit Box was rolling through her city like 2 days later, and they had her on stage and did Holy Roller with her, and that's like. I love that shit. That shit's fucking great.
I saw a video of her playing on America's Got Talent, and as soon as the instrumental started for Holy Roller, the crowd that was being paid to be there probably was like, "Oh, my ears" and stuff. It was the greatest thing I've ever seen. And then she started doing her vocals, and then the crowd was like, "Wait, we're not supposed to like this, but it's still good." And even
All the
Simon,
normies were like, "Oh my god, a 10-year-old!"
no, oh God, go away. But they were literally covering their ears, and it was the funniest thing I've ever seen.
Oh, she was fire though. She got better vocals than I had when I was like 20, dude.
Yeah,
Holy
she was really good, and now Crown the Empire is like sharing her vocal cover of like one of their songs. So she's made it. She's gonna get signed to Rise Records like immediately.
She already had a big Twitter account too. Like I had like seen like a when Spirit Box retweeted her audition or like some of the photos from the time they had her up on stage. She's already got a massive Twitter account. Like, damn, dude, all right, let's go. Like,
When she gets a band going, it's gonna be all over for us.
oh yeah.
But yeah. So I if you're new to the podcast, I like to kind of check in with some news that happened in the alternative music for today, and it was a pretty good list for this intro. But I think, are we ready to move along?
Yeah, let's bring the Gorilla Man in.
All right, our guest today is founder of the Midwest-based vinyl pressing label Silverback Gorilla Records. They have pressed vinyl and printed merch for bands such as Reflections, Traitors, Spongecore, baby, motherfucking Spongecore, and Villains or Youth Forever. Please welcome the head of pressing production and sales, Chris Martone.
All right, yeah, I can hear you guys.
Yeah,
Sick.
right on. What's up, man?
So we're just drinking Modelo's and getting ready for this, man.
Yeah, just hanging out. How was your day? Anything special go on?
No, dude, no. It's my day off, so I've just been sleeping for the
Dope.
most part.
Sleeping and drinking all fucking day, baby. Let's go.
Well,
Yeah, dude, it was a long weekend, so I gotta rest up after that.
After the sins you all committed at the party.
Oh man, yeah.
well,
Oh,
I was
yeah.
under the impression that when we were gonna have you on, that you this was what you did 100%. You were with Silverback Gorilla Records full time, which I was like, that's so fucking sick. But I come to find out you're a barber.
Oh, dude, I wish. Yeah, no, dude. If Silverback Gorilla Records could pay me enough to live in a cute, flanky New York apartment, then yeah, I would totally do it.
That would be the dream.
But no, dude. Yeah, dude, I'd be so into it. No, so my day-to-day life is I wake up, I go cut hair for 8 hours, 10 hours a day. I find out that one of my clients somehow, some way knows somebody I worked with or knows the plant I work with or also runs a label or has bought a record off me. And then I get weirded out. I go home, I take a shower, and I go, all right, get ready for tomorrow.
So
It's a weird world, man.
it sounds
Really weird world.
It's really, especially up. You're in New York, right?
New York City, baby, greatest city in the world.
Big
We
weird.
love the Mets.
Go Mets.
Love the Mets, baby.
Love the Mets, baby. Let's go. Let's
So-
go, Mets.
That's quite the contrast from us down here, because we're all just like in retirement city down here, but we're not retiring, not anytime soon.
We're in
You
Hell's
have more
waiting
New
room.
Yorkers than we do. Are you kidding me?
We don't want them.
More New Yorkers,
Only for a couple
more
months
New
of the
Yorkers
year.
moved to Florida.
Get them out of here,
It's like,
dude.
dude, most of your state is compiled of people that like have grown up in my city.
Yep. That's where I fucking live, dude. Like half my fucking clients I've done are from like NYC or like not even like fully upstate, just in like one of the burbs just outside the city. I'm like, why the fuck are you here?
Oh yeah, they all moved down there. They either
The
moved to
only
Long Island, Connecticut, or Florida.
the only upside is that they
Happens every
bring.
time.
I had one guy bring. He actually owns a fucking deli down here, and that motherfucker is like one of the best delis down here. And I'm like, thank you. You can stay. The rest of you go.
Well, yeah, bro, he knows what it's like. He knows how
Oh
to
yeah.
like go in a functioning facility. Like, come
But
on.
I mean, like, I don't get how these people don't like croak from the heat and the humidity down here. It's really wild.
Because it's just as bad up here in the summer. It's just all year round with a little, spice of danger from the hurricanes.
And then, yeah, a couple hurricanes here and there.
Honestly, I'm
It's
starting
the
to
same
think
thing, dude.
the secret is I think all the old people are just drinking all day. Like
Probably.
legit. Yeah, like there's so many older people that are in my store and just buying like unholy amounts of alcohol. Like that's got to be all they do all day.
Dropping
Dude, if I was
buco.
retired, had a good amount of money, and was constantly fearful of my life from giant lizards and natural disasters, I would be drinking Clase Azul all day long. So shit-faced. I mean, I would not spend a single waking second of my life sober.
It's Australia Junior down here.
Yeah, no, Florida's fucking nuts, dude.
But
I have to say it because Cody's in chat right now. Hey Chris, when's the new Frog Mallet dropping?
Whenever you finish it, bro, how about you like finish your album and then send it to me so I could just get it going?
my brother in Christ, it is your album.
My brother in Christ, finish the drums.
So
Um,
this is completely different from anything we've had on here. We've only you're probably our 10th or 11th guest, I think, which is still pretty good. All musicians,
that's right.
if we get them on here, they're talking about their latest single and everything. But we're in a completely different ballpark today. We're talking about your company where you press vinyl and print merch, which is honestly one of my dreams to just do that all the time. So I wanted to ask you, like, what's a day like doing shit for SGR?
Wow. So my days are they're very different, right? So like after drops, it's usually very mild. I'm changing addresses, I'm refunding orders from people who just either don't want it, didn't want to wait that long, whatever. I go and I check up on current open projects. So like recently we had to I just put in 2 orders. I have to put in 2 more, and then I have 5 more pending. And then I have to keep up with artists with where are we on the timeline for like layout? How is it done? Luckily one of my childhood friends, Stas from the Harkening, he does my masters, so I call him and I go, "Hey, Sonny, what are we doing today, bro?" And then he just gets on with my mastering. It's a very weird relationship to have with somebody that you work with that you've known for like 90% of your life, because it's never like a normal business conversation. It just starts out with one of us going, "Yo, we're gonna go smoke a Parliament or crack and drink frappes in the park," and I'm like, "Yeah, can I get my album mastered, bro?" Like that would be fucking sick. But yeah, also I'm down for Parliaments. Like,
Hell
come
yeah.
on. So it's a lot of the time it is really funny. We're not conventional. I mean, you have me doing most of this work, so it's like I'm not the most professional person in the world, like conversational wise, especially because I'm a barber. But it is a lot of fun, man. And then it's like I have people like Cody that's like, when's the new Frog Mallet coming out? And I'm like, oh man, well, what other merch are we doing for you, and how can I help? We've kind of evolved from throwback to current.
Mhm.
So nobody teaches you how to do this unless you went to a music business school, and then if you did that, you kind of just became a corporate ploy that all the big
Yeah.
labels have. Because they have different contracts set up and all this like fun bullshit we can get into later if you want. And me, I'm just like, yeah, dude, you want shorts that look like a Four Loco can? Shit, how many you want? Like, I'm fucking down. What's the worst thing that happens? I go bankrupt and I go to my job like nothing happened. Like, I'm all right with that.
Yeah.
So it is a lot of fun, man. And then when we strike gold on like, I can't even tell you the emotions that went through my body when Devin from Villains told me yes. So it's
Mhm.
like when something like that happens, it's like I start freaking out at work. I actually, funny enough, I was at the local bar by my job, and I met this guy and his boyfriend, two really nice people. And I was telling them, I was like, come to the shop, it would be great to cut your hair. I'm just having a conversation. And he goes, oh, are you the guy who was moonlighting about a record label outside of the business? And I was like, what do you mean? And he goes, yeah, you were going on about some like record deal or something. And I had to think about when I was outside screaming. And that was when I heard the Fantasy Effect redo that we dropped for the first time when they finished the record. Like I got sent the album early so that we could get it mastered, and I was like sprinting up and down the shop shirtless because I was taking a sidewalk tan and having like a total meltdown. And this guy was just walking by to have his friend get their hair cut, and he was like, "This doesn't make any sense as to what's going on outside of this barber shop." So it's like my worlds are very intertwined, man. It is a really crazy thing that my day to day is like I'm cutting hair, but I'm also a record label guy. It's like I'm mid haircut and I'm watching my phone absolutely explode because there's 400 kids waiting on the site to open to go buy a bunch of records that I'm not gonna have for like 6 months.
They really do go like nuts over the drops and everything. That's got to be like unreal
It's insane.
feeling. Yeah.
It's
really,
insane, dude.
It's crazy. I fucking tried sniping that Last Wish Hexablad alt, and I have all my shit on autofill. I have to click 2 buttons to check out. It takes me 15 seconds. I get on there and I'm
Not
like,
fast
all right, I
enough.
got this. No. So like literally sniped out of my car. I'm like, how the fuck are you faster than me, dude? It's crazy how hard these kids go on these drops. That Villains drop was like that, and I was just kind of watching to see how it went, and I was like, what the fuck?
Oh yeah. Dude, just wait. It gets worse, man. I mean, so like I'm 0 for 22 in Wax Vessel. I have never scored a single record on drop day. And these kids are sub 10 seconds on checkout. And I'm sitting here and like I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm not like the best well prepared. I'm usually like high as fuck sitting there. I'm like, all right, man, I'm gonna try to get the pretty one, you know? And I'm sitting there, I'm trying to like click everything, but then I'm like, I didn't pre-do something and I didn't open a certain window a certain way, or I wasn't watching the clock. And then I'm just like, whatever, man. Like, you want $300? I'll figure it out. Like, this is what's happening these days. Like, I can't take a retail win, But it is really cool seeing a lot more small DIYs in our space have instant sellouts. I mean, I think that's insanely cool. As frustrating as it is for, a buyer, but also we're in this weird time where people don't even want to pick up just like a regular copy of the album. Like they'd rather just wait for resale and pay exorbitant amounts of money instead of just picking up a copy of the record and actually helping out band sales numbers. Or you know for example, like us, we don't, like whatever money we make gets put back in. Like I'm probably never going to see a single dollar from this entire thing. I think the most money I've ever seen from the label is like I got chicken wings in Ohio once and like a can of Monster.
That's big though.
And then I drove back. Like I don't think I'll ever, see anything from it. And it's not what it's for. It's not meant to maintain my life and give me a half-built IKEA dresser because I'm too lazy to finish putting it together. That's what my job is for. That's why I go to work every day.
At least
You
for
know,
now.
that's supplying my life. Well, no, I think a lot of people, you know, this is one of those, if the shoe fits and you see it, you'll know. A lot of people that make this their source of straight income and not a side project or a project that they are investing all of their time to, but they do have a different income. This is where things get fucked up. This is where they start seeing, you know, big amounts of money come in and they almost treat it as a small loan because it's like you have a profit margin of X amount of dollars, but then you got to buy your supplies and everything. And then you got to make sure, you know, you just have leftover money just in case. And they kind of like, they go, oh, well, I only have to put X amount of money towards the deposit. Well, I could use all this other money. And they're not planning for 12 months ahead of time. Like me, I'm planned for, we're booked every single month until this time next year. I think a little bit more forward. I'm almost a year and a half ahead of myself with orders. Yeah, tests are approved all the way up until I want to say maybe the end of the year in terms of releases. As we get more, we'll start going in. You know, I already have 6 on the books for next year. So, you know, we try to keep it at a drop a month. Reflections was a fluke for the most part. I mean, you know, my favorite heavy band ever asked me to put out their albums, and I was like, yeah, what date do you want? I'll do whatever. Like, I'll make it happen. You know, so it was one of those scenarios where I was like, okay, we could do 2 in a month. Why not? You know, and now we're just like I said earlier, you know, we're trying to evolve into helping out smaller bands. And like now we have a lot more resources that we could put to. I mean, look at Hexblood, right? I don't listen to black metal. I don't know what any of that shit is. I was just like, homies, Witcher, kids want your vinyl? I'll fucking do 250. Why not? You know, like let's go for it. You know, if they were touring and we had leftover copies, I would just give it to them and be like, go make money, I guess. I don't know, sell it, do something with it.
That drop went hot. That drop, I think the last time I saw, I think Kalen tweeted about it, like the day after the drop. You guys only had like 30 something odd copies of the one silver left. Everything else went in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah,
Like, it was crazy.
we're sitting less than 40. I mean, if you want to laugh, when we put out Frog Mallet, it was our 3rd release. We still had Dealey Plaza in, and that was a very weird time, especially for me, stress-wise, because I was like, we didn't have a same-day sellout. You know, it wasn't within the hour, within a half hour, like Villains was. I was feeling stressed because it wasn't an instant follow-up, you know? Like, I felt like I started so big, and I was like, oh, God, you know, what am I going to do? And Charlie and I had thought of Frog Mallet because I saw Frog Mallet get a tape from Joseph of Tsunami through RBS, like the really short-lived tape label he was doing. I think they only ever had 2 releases. It was Foghorn and Frog Mallet. And I was like, yo, let's do Frog Mallet. That'll be like really fucking funny. And he was down for it. And then when we pitched it to Norberto and Nina, they both said we were crazy and that it was probably just going to like, you know, bankrupt us. And I was like, yeah, it probably could. I mean, this could be our last release if it just doesn't go well. Like, we're not going to be able to do anything. And funny enough, who would have thought kids love frogs?
The frog.
I
I
had
didn't
no
even try
fucking
to get
idea,
the.
man.
I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna get the rave copy, support my boys, but that was it. I was like, I ain't even gonna try for that shit, man.
And we split it up too. We did 2 different drops of 100, and we waited months in between. It was like a very weird way to do it, but we were able to like land traders right afterwards, which was fucking massive. I mean, I can't even believe, you know, we're still able, you know, that they want us to keep working with them and doing this massive project. I mean, you know, we're going through a lot of albums with them.
Can I stop you right there real quick? I just want to point this out that I used to see the vocalist of Traders play at a skate park in the town 20 minutes over from me in a gent band in Visionary.
I actually
Nice.
I played a folk show with Alan as well.
Yo.
They're just around the corner dudes for us. Like we've known them
pretty
for
much.
a long time, so I think it's absolutely crazy that this is like that it's huge for you up in New York, and for Florida, like we got all these dudes down here. So it's so crazy to hear the other perspective of it.
Well, I mean, man, listen, up here we ride for those Florida deathcore bands.
Oh
Like
yeah.
Florida deathcore, Florida down tempo, dude. We ride for that shit up here. That's like cream of the crop, like the best. I mean, dude, you ever listen to a New York City local band between I don't know, fucking 2000 like 8 and 14, 15? It's nothing, just like ass beating breakdowns. It's just mosh riffs. There's like nothing else to it. It's like 2.5 minutes of just oonga boonga monkey fighting. Like there's nothing.
Shit, man.
There's nothing there, dude. And you listen to Florida bands and you're like, it's 2.5 minutes of ass beating music.
Yeah.
It's perfect. The scenes were like meant for each other. I mean, I can't tell you how many people I know flew down to go see Adalia's last show.
That show was fucking stupid. That show
Oh
was
yeah, my homie broke his
absolutely.
arm at that show. Smacked the
Yup.
pole.
God damn.
Yeah, smack the pole at the fucking Orpheum, man. It's funny. They greased the before the Orpheum moved. I haven't been to whatever new spot. Apparently, there's some other shit there, but you know, fucking Dom. They greased the poles because Dom used to fucking climb them at every metalcore show he went to. So you'd go to like Moss to Flames or Invent Animate Polaris, whatever, and the poles would be fucking covered in Vaseline because Dom would try to climb them.
No joke. I have there was a trader show I went to at the Orpheum a couple years ago, and I have this somewhere in my Snapchat. It's just a video of like traders playing this breakdown, and you just see people climbing up the fucking poles, and it was like the wildest thing I'd ever seen at the time.
Oh, that was
Dude, that band rips. I was very fortunate to see them at Distress the US when they came up here. That was insane. I got to see them recently on what was it, Menace to Society tour with Scumfuck and
Wrist Meat Razor was on that too.
yeah, Risk Me, Left to Side. I mean, that whole lineup was like stacked in my mind. That was an amazing show. That was my first show back from COVID, actually.
Yeah, we saw them. I remember their first show was at a skate park over in Sarasota, fucking Payne Park.
Yep, I was there.
Payne Park.
That was we were at the. It's always funny because we were at the same show before we ever fucking knew each other.
Yep, and like at Legends and everything.
I'm starting to think that happens a lot around here. Like people I meet now, like it'll be like, oh, we were totally at like a show together like 5 years ago,
Yep.
and I think that's just a super common occurrence around here.
But
I love that for y'all, man.
So I was reading a little bit, and you guys started as just kind of doing throwback records, right?
Yeah. We the idea was to just do like bands that like everybody knew that never saw vinyl. So obviously, the way my brain is working is like, oh, we could do like Old Structures and like, all these like huge, huge things. Because I was like, well, they probably, all I need is a yes, right? Like, my little pea brain didn't understand how like things worked yet. And it was mainly throwback. We started working with Frog Mallet, and then when they exploded after the vinyl, like they saw a lot of increase in popularity and like merch sales and like the whole nine. And then we were like, well, shit, we can actually like kind of do some good for like smaller active bands. Like we don't just have to do dead records. Like we can now do we can help with people that actually want to make a living off of their own music, that don't want to be tied to a label. Like they just want somebody that's going to be able to like work with them. Because we don't any active band we work with, we don't sign. There's no signage. There's no master owning. Everything is completely and totally theirs. They have if they do one record with us, they don't have to do the next one with us. There's no strings attached. It's just kind of like, this is your business, this is your life, it's your decision, it's your art, this is however you want it to be. I'm just the guy talking to the guys at the record plant and making sure we can pack up the records and get them to the kids. Like
I think it's
That's
kind of
really it.
crazy because one of my favorite metalcore bands from back in the day, The Word Alive, they've been signed to Fearless Records ever since they dropped Deceiver, and
Fearless
for
is a death sentence.
for whatever reason, Fearless will not press Deceiver or Life Cycles for The Word Alive. They they just won't do it.
This is one of those things that I find very interesting about labels, and it's how motivated they are to ignore the general public.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I know you just followed us on Twitter, so you haven't seen the last 7 months of me begging Rise Records to let me press There I Breathe, right?
I've been
So
watching that shit for a while, yo.
I'm surprised they haven't blocked me, and I'm surprised I haven't made them given yet
Have they
because I'm
have they
starting to get
responded to
annoying.
you at
They
all?
have
Rise just
not once
ghosts you on
responded.
Twitter now like an ex-girl, like an
They
ex fucking
ghost me.
doesn't nope,
Even,
leave him alone.
oh, dude, even if I tweet them and anything else, I even went as far as saying I would get the thing tattooed, and I took an Instagram photo of my leg and I wrote out my whole tweet on my leg. And I was like, "Hey, look at this tattoo, Rise Records." It got like 80 something likes or whatever. And I'm like, I know they're seeing it. I'm not stupid. There's only 25 replies. There's no way they're not seeing this thing. And I don't know why they're not doing it. I'm sad. I want to do it. Rise Records, if you're watching, just let me spend my money on it.
I hope they're watching.
Let me do it. Like I hope to fucking God somebody that knows them is watching, because I've been trying for months. But they labels just don't want to take the risk. And the one thing I don't understand is why they don't want to take the risk. Because it's not a risk. We are I've had this conversation with Nick of Wax Vessel a bunch of times. We are in the golden age of vinyl. There is no way you can fuck up right now. Like, you can print an album from 10 years ago right now as a bigger label, right? Like, Sumerian Records could print the first Betraying the Martyrs record tomorrow, 500
I would
copies.
buy
I
like 5
guarantee
copies
you
of shit right
sell
the
out
fuck
in the
now.
first hour.
Oh,
Guarantee
easily.
it. It could one color. Doesn't even have to be a spread. It could be one color, and they will completely sell out. And they will not do it because they don't believe that it could happen.
So I'm not like super
Even
business savvy, but is it possible that maybe like, so for record labels like Rise or like Sumerian, they would probably want to start with something like 500 copies or something like that. Is it possible that it's not a big enough return to them for it to be worthwhile?
That's stupid. Why are you giving away? Why are you not taking free money? That's just free
Basically
money
what
at
it
that point.
point. I mean, look at who just print Kublai Khan. Just I think Rise gave him the go ahead to press. I think they did 750 copies of Balancing Survival and Happiness. That shit was
That
gone
was
in 3
Razor and
minutes.
Tie.
It
I
was
think that
gone.
was Razor and Tie or Artery that did Balancing Survival.
That's what it was.
Yeah, it's a different label, but I mean, yeah, they printed 1,000 copies. It was gone within like not even an hour. But the other thing is that album, in my opinion, is years overdue.
Oh,
That should have been
absolutely.
printed a very long time ago. Would they have sold 1,000? Probably. It would have took them a little longer to sell 1,000. But we were also talking the days of 4-month turnaround. Kids used to be pissed if they didn't get their records in under a month.
Mm-hmm.
Now after
And
COVID, it's
yeah,
like, you know what? Hey, listen, you can order it. It's gonna take us, 9 to a year, but you're there. I think the main thing with labels now, it's kind of been because I've been kind of watching. I kind of keep ears to the ground with a lot of stuff that goes on. Is everyone's all about what they can make from social media. I see posts all the time from artists, saying like on the low, like, hey, my label says I got to do XYZ numbers on social media. That's why you see artists and bands making these stupid fucking TikToks that are just absolute cringe garbage. But you've got all these views and stuff, and that's what's generating the money. So they're like, yeah, you know what? Fuck the vinyl people. Even though we are, like you said, we're in that golden age. I mean, vinyl's hotter than it's ever been, and it was. I don't collect anymore. I've only got maybe 20, 25 records at most right now, but
yeah.
I mean, we were in Mac together. I used to have, I used to be buying shit left and fucking right, but it's like we are in that golden age, But they're just like, nah, we want to, capitalize on TikTok and whatever. It's like, bro, listen, there's money to be made here. I mean, you guys make it apparent. Wax Vessel makes it apparent. A lot of these smaller DIY, they're putting out absolutely buck wild releases, and you guys are selling them out in less than an hour half the time. Like,
My quality is better too. I mean, if you want to do a really fun breakdown, and I mean, this is like sometimes I put my nose where it doesn't belong, but a lot of the time it has really good intentions. And what I have realized is that most major labels use the same pressing plant. And what I've done, just for comparison purposes, we've done a few out of 500s now. We have another out of 500 coming out the start of next year. One of my now starting to become one of my favorite releases of next year that we're putting out. And I took my order confirmation, my breakdown sheet, my all my figures, and I went to A to Z Media. Pure Noise uses them, Rise uses them, everybody in this industry fucking uses them, and I got a quote, and I did it the way they would do it, very cheaply. I mean, glossy jackets, plain white inner sleeves that aren't protected, shrink wrap, digital download code, whole 9 yards. And when you look at the price comparison, it's not a lot of money for better quality.
it
They're
really
cheap.
isn't.
They're cutting corners, and I understand, dude. Like you're buying a certain amount of records, right? And it is, you could spend $7,000, right, for like maybe like 500 records, like about $7,000, But they're doing the same thing I'm doing. They're selling them for almost $30 a piece at this point, and it's the same recycled variants with the same recycled colors, and there's nothing new going on the packaging. You don't even get a fold out like Warped Tour poster anymore on these things. You're not getting anything fucking special. You're using a cheaper plant in the Czech Republic. I mean, I'm gonna be this guy. I have a lot of records that mine just stand up to better. And I
I
mean,
can
we're
agree with
talking
you.
like,
Talking about records, I've got major pressing label records that I still have, and
yeah,
I will be 100% honest with you. I run them on my buddy because I used to have a U-turn Orbit that I sold to my buddy of mine, but I'll bring something over to his place, and the audio quality is significantly better. It's
well, Frog
significantly.
Mallet, that's a very special thing because Sean went back into the stems and then mastered it directly from raw stems for vinyl. So
I
he did
remember
a direct master.
it was either him or Griff was telling me about that back when they were we were talking
Yeah,
about releasing that. I was like, that's fucking cool.
it,
Like,
it was a very different process because most labels, and I'm going to be honest with you, man, they just take the MP3 recording, they send it over, and they're like, just fucking master it, And it's like, all right, some of them will do waves, and it does sound significantly better, and you could tell by pressing to pressing. I mean, there is an audio difference, and unfortunately, it's like with some of these major labels, it's like I get a record, it's like really flimsy, and I mean, yeah, cool, I got a splatter, but like, it's like, um, look at the most recent Knocked Loose record and the most recent Chamber record. If you look at both pre-order flyers, they're the same variants and the same colorways.
yep, they were the exact fucking same. Because I listened to
Why
both
would you
bands
do
and I'm
that?
like, what the fuck is this?
Why would you do that? I understand they're the same color, and I understand people like the same, you know, style. They want the colors to match the jacket. But you have a band that's getting 15 variants and you don't know your color wheel to do fucking opposite colors to make it pop. Like, dude, what are we doing these days? I don't think big labels are actually hiring collectors or people that actually like kind of give a shit that are doing the designing anymore, that are doing the ordering. I mean, God forbid you order 20,000 records for a fucking huge band and you can't even give me anti-static inner sleeves that are only 5 cents more
Yeah, you get
per
the
inner
shitty paper
sleeve.
sleeves, like
You're
garbage.
you're gonna spend only like an extra $1,000 maybe, and that you're gonna get back easily because you could reprint that record God knows how many fucking times. They're on what, the 19th press of pop culture, and we haven't even seen a packaging upgrade. I
Yeah,
mean,
like
don't
you
get me
still get
wrong.
the same
I'm being
shit.
insanely petty. I'm being like, I'm Karen and Ulta having a fucking meltdown right now. But it's at that point where it's like, why am I, the small guy, putting so much more care and effort into my final product than a company that is literally funding people's livelihoods? I'm gonna keep using Knocked Loose because it's my greatest example of how things have just gone fucking south the bigger they got in
Yeah.
terms of like these companies working with them, not the band itself. I think the band itself is amazing, and I think when they do their own tour merch and when they have more control over it, they're in a better position. Because I got the original Kingmaker Final Show Newport shirt. Um, I've washed that thing, no cracks, no nothing. It's old. It's on thin fucking Hanes,
And it's a
whatever.
fucking solid print. I have friends
Solid,
who have that shirt. It's literally one big ink sheet. Like
rock
that's
solid.
going to cracking. Nope, not a single thing.
I got the new one on Toltex. I washed it once. It cracked to shit. That print feels like rubber, and I know for a fact they did it to cut corners to make more money off of the shirts.
Oh, absolutely, they do.
And
It's
it's like
bad.
you're a band that's
See it all the
easily
time now. It's just like I think
they're gonna sell 300. Why are we cutting corners? And it's insane because it's like I said with the records, man. When you look at the final numbers, it's like you're cutting corners to save $1,000, but like upgrade your product, charge $2 extra, offset the cost, make your original amount. I don't understand why we're doing this. I don't
especially
understand
nowadays,
why it's
they don't
consistent.
mind $2. They're like, okay, cool, an extra like $2-3 on a record. All right, here you go, take it. Like,
Dude, Hexblood was a little bit more expensive when I ran the final numbers on a final sellout. Like, I sat down with the band and I was like, look, it's a little bit more expensive because we're doing a gatefold. There's more art. We're doing a pull-out poster. There's a whole bunch of shit involved. I'm like, so we want it to look the best it can be, but like this is the final margin, and I want to make you guys something, right? Like I'm not trying to, send you off with $1,000 and go, oh, haha, like I want bands to eat the same, like what we do for everybody is what we do for everybody. So I was like, hey, we'll upcharge it by a few bucks. We'll offset, a little bit of the expenses. We can put a couple of more dollars in your pocket. And as a new band that like is funding all their merch out of their own pockets, it's like, that helps. And that's where the money goes. And I think we're insanely transparent about it. So I think kids care. I think kids don't care about the lower quality of merch from these big labels because they know these bands aren't eating off of it. They know their money's coming from tour. They know that the pre-order numbers only count during the first week. A lot of people are starting to be a lot more self-aware of a lot of these shitty deals and how the industry is actually working for their favorite artists. So I think buyers are a little bit more conscious in terms of like, um, why am I going to buy a digital download off of fucking Apple Music for $8? I'll buy a record for 20. They're going to make more money off that. And then I'll buy like a shirt or two. And then they're like, I'll just listen to it on Spotify, but then when I go see them on tour, I'll drop $60.
yeah,
And
that's
I'll buy a
exactly
couple of
it now
shirts.
too. It's like, I stream everything over Spotify just because like that's where 99%. I have a couple of hard files on my phone that I keep of like stuff that's not on streaming. Can't listen to it because native music apps are all dead. But it's like if I go to a show, I'll be like, hey, what's your guys' cash at PayPal, Venmo, or here's some cash, because I know it's going directly to the band. It's like I would rather buy the shirt from you that your label gave you to sell and give you the cash for it versus buying it online, paying the shipping, paying the taxes, and then, it goes through the label site and then I know not all that money's going to you. I'd rather just be like, yeah, here's $20, here's $10 for your merch guy, like, and that's it. I know that goes to you versus it going elsewhere.
Oh yeah, I mean when we made the shorts for Frog Mallet, the tour exclusive shorts, I basically told them, hey, um, here's 50 shorts. Whenever you make costs back, give me the money and the rest is yours. You're on tour selling them. This is what's putting gas in your car. This is what's putting food in your mouth. I'm not selling them. So I have no right to any of that money. Like, not even close. The fact that I have an item on the merch table, cool enough for me. That's my satisfaction. Like, I don't need to have my hands involved in shit. You know, I'm I lost my mind when villains told me they had a $10,000 merch run and only saw a couple $100,
Oh,
and that
fuck,
the label took everything. And I was like, wow,
fuck that.
I was like, we're going to pay you whatever you want, because fuck that. Like, I'm not having any part in that. It's not okay. Favorite band or not, that's not okay. The way there's so many predatory labels that are still out there, is a shame. You know, I have a lot of lawyer clients that I give haircuts to, and they ask about what I do and what my negotiating process is, and what contracts, this, that, whatever. And I tell them, I'm like, we don't have contracts because they're older now, and obviously these people still carry around like a little bit of baggage when it comes to being 18 years old and being told, sign here. You don't own your art anymore. You actually owe us a shitload of money, and now you're in debt for the rest of your life. I have friends that still don't own their own masters. They still owe the label money, and it's been years since they've been a band. And it's like, how does that happen? What has gone wrong?
Lost sound here.
Up, your AirPods die.
Oh yeah, they did. Dude, I absolutely love technology only working for like 20 minutes at a time.
Well, I'm glad you
Hey,
warned me
that's why
about
I'm
it.
here. You pay me to fix things.
Well, your audio still sounds fine, and like since you warned me about it, I was prepared for it. I saw we weren't picking up sound. I was like, he lost it.
Oh yeah, no, dude, I have the worst AirPods in the world because like I don't lose things, so like I have things for a very long amount of time, so they work till they stop.
Yup, that's what it do.
Yeah. Fuck, they've held up this long. Like,
I wanted to at least note this that I haven't been following SGR for very long, but I do remember when you guys pressed SpongeCore. I remember when that was a
yeah,
big thing going on.
that was fun. Funny enough, I flew home. I flew back to New York. I was still living in Indiana. I came home for Pride, and I was working in Brooklyn when the SpongeCore drop went live. And I remember that drop selling out in half an hour. And my phone got so hot from the notifications because we had that Thug Bob alt cover. My phone overheated and stopped working, and I couldn't check out who I had next. So I had no idea if I was running on time, who was late, how to call anybody. And I was just like, oh God, this is going to be a nightmare for a little while while I'm trying to fucking cut hair. And, I turn my phone back on, I find out everything's sold out. I'm like 2 hours late. And I was like, wow, dude, that's nuts. I mean, I still get DMs from people that are like, do you have extra SpongeCore records? The answer is yes, I do. Um, and you'll figure out how to get one sooner or later. I'm setting up something. So like, our friends in the DIY space, they do online rebalances. I'm attempting to avoid that. I'm trying to do physical locations only.
Tell you like, hey, we're doing a pop-up store XYZ date. You want this? Show the fuck up.
Yeah,
Like,
basically, if you want to, get a friend that you know in another state, go drive somewhere and go support a local record store, go pick it up. Like, I don't know.
yeah, I can dig
I
that
don't
for
want to
sure.
solely exist online. I don't want to be like, I feel like I'm terminally online and I'm trying to like pull the reins back a little bit and try to get a grasp on a physical thing, right? Like, um, LDB Fest, perfect example. There were 3 of us there. We're trying to like go out more. We don't want to be a DIY that's working with a lot of big active bands and not participating in our space. A lot of us have been going to shows for a very long time now. Um, Norb, for example, has been to a lot of shows in a lot of states and countries.
And Norb's
And
Tampa boy. That man is Florida born and raised, baby.
I was in a car with him going to Louisville, and can't believe we even made it there. That guy's a fucking animal behind the wheel. But you know, he never says no to driving for a show, ever. I mean, that kid literally went to Japan. Like, I don't know anybody that crazy in my
Like
life.
he literally
That's
went. It wasn't. It was a Silent Planet, wasn't it? He went over there
yeah,
with them for like the whole week and a half or some shit.
shows. He went to 3 shows in Japan.
Dude, I hate leaving my house. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah,
I
Chris,
love it, dude. I mean, you know, he's that guy. I mean, I've gone to the UK twice for shows. I even went to Canada. You know, I'm not Norbert. I went all the way to fucking Japan. That's sick. But like,
and
it's
speaking
crazy,
of
man.
terminally online, I want to bring this up because it's just the funniest thing. The way we fucking met was in Mac. So tell me, you're gonna have to give backstory because I don't know if any of these guys know it, but I kept this in my pocket for today. When are you gonna do an SGR poll video?
Well, I'm back in New York, so Pole's only 20 minutes in an Uber, door to door service.
For context, the way I found out about Chris and how we became friends was back in Mac. He posted these videos where he would fucking destroy some kind of rare test press against a pole, or the Architects one that went viral where he straight up fucking yeeted whatever Architects vinyl it was into the fucking ocean. Just straight up off the beach into the ocean.
Yeah, my friend threw a test into the English Channel. That was fun. That was really funny. I'm not gonna
I
lie.
will never forget Mac fucking steaming over that video. They were like, "Why did you do this?" And it was the funniest fucking shit.
Dude, I've been in that group now as of July 15th, 8 years.
I gotta ask Norb
Wow.
to let my new account back in because he had to ban me like 3 years ago.
I love that. I love that for you. You know what's really funny is Mac was actually a really driving force behind us for success, which is insane. Because like everybody hates metal and core collectors, but everybody is in metal and core collectors. It's like your favorite degenerate high school class. Everybody hates it, but everybody's always there. So you don't know why everybody's still there.
That's the fucking truth, God.
Oh yeah, no. Everybody despises it, but they all show up every day to argue with each other. It's honestly, it's your school cafeteria at 7 in the morning.
I was in it for a while, and I left just because I don't need it on my newsfeed. But I was in it for when Glow On by Turnstile came out, and it was just nonstop every single day. Hey, I'm selling Glow On for like 400 or best offer. Shit, every single hour on the hour.
You know, I hold still what I firmly believe is the correct opinion, and it's if you're going to buy and resell new releases for absurd prices, just open up a brick and mortar record store. You do way more service to the community that way.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, if who cares about your Depop account, dude? Just open up shop, help your local economy, get kids in the door, help your scene thrive. Like actually fucking do something instead of sitting in an online merch group, getting clowned on by the same 20 people every time you post, and then wondering why nobody likes you. It's just a very weird fucking cycle that just continues, and I don't get it.
I'm gonna.
Not getting any money, but like it was kind of crazy. Especially, I remember being really active back when the Knock Loose spike happened. When Laugh Tracks came out, and
Oh yeah.
I won't even be the one to front. I capitalized. I had the damaged goods split they did for the tour back in 2015 or 16 when they were touring with Knock Loose and wow, Adalia and Varials. And I had that
Oh
signed
yeah.
by Brian and I can't remember who else from the band. It was only a handful of the members. And I was like, listen, I don't really care about this. Like, I wonder I'll just post it up, see what happens. And some kid was like, yeah, I'll give you 150 for it. And I'm like, okay, all right,
Well,
you
I
want,
mean, listen,
sure, give you go.
listen. If somebody's gonna offer you an outrageous amount of money, I'm never gonna say no because I'm not the one asking for that much money.
Exactly.
Like,
I'm like, bro, what the
like,
fuck?
like if you come in my DMs and you're like, "Hey man, I'll give you like $1,000 for this record," that's not a Silverback Gorilla Records pressing of something because I'm not selling mine. Leave me the fuck alone, please. For the love of God, leave me alone.
Tell me a test press.
No. Like I'll do it. Like I'll probably tell you, hey man, that's like a lot of money. Like I'm not comfortable, but like I'll do it. I'm not gonna say no to that. But I have to remember as a collector, I'm like I'm never gonna see that for that price ever again. Like once I make this sale, I fuck everything up, and I'm like I'm never getting that record again. So I have to live with that.
I
But
want to ask you, quite literally, the fucking what's your favorite color question. What is your favorite variant that you've pressed, and what's like your favorite band that you've gotten the approval for to press them, like that you just went fucking ape shit over, no pun intended, gorilla shit.
Gorilla shit.
wow. So I think one of my favorite variants is not made yet.
Maybe you'll tell us about that.
We'll have to wait for September. It is a mix of something that's already been done by Wax Vessel, and it's definitely one of my favorite albums. And it's a secret pressing. It's something that I got made just for myself and Austin of Morning Records as a celebratory thing for coming as far as we've come together. Because without Austin of Morning Records, Silverback Gorilla Records would have never happened. 100%. Like without him, we wouldn't be a thing. Another Florida boy. We love Florida. And you guys will see it later on. Hopefully, if no delays crossing, it'll be end of September, I believe. And then we're getting another one in fucking January and February. I mean, what we try to do is like I've had this thing where I'm always trying to one up the next friends and family press. So like if you think it's crazy now, it's just gonna get more intense as we go on. I've asked for some very wild ideas that I don't know if it's gonna come out well or not. I have full faith though in Heath and the Wax Mage crew to make it happen. I mean, Heath has told me, yeah, I'll fucking go for it, and I'm like, all right, man, sick, fucking rock and roll, make it work. Like, I don't know what to say in this matter. Like, I've never pressed a record. Like, I'm not the professional here. I feel like if he didn't feel confident it would come out good, he'd tell me no. He's a good guy. But there's a lot of pressings I'm very excited for that we just have not gotten in yet. Like, currently, as of our first 5, it'll forever and always be 10 code. I mean, the fact that I asked for a crosshair and they made it happen, and that thing looks like that.
Crosshair pressing is dope as fuck.
Blew me away. I opened it up in the parking lot and I started having a meltdown. I was like, I can't even believe this. How do they make records like that? And now, like, I'm printing some of my favorite albums with my favorite artists that I get to work with that are like excited to work with me, and we get to make these cool ass fucking records together that are just for us. That's fucking awesome, dude. Like I love that.
Well,
and it's a selfish thing. Like I'm not gonna lie, like everybody's like, oh, how do I get a homie press? I'm like, I don't know, be a homie. And they're like, well, how do I do that? I'm like, by not asking that. That's not gonna fucking do anything, dude.
Hey man, can I get a homie press? No, fuck you.
Give me shit.
Like, it's not for you, man. And because the whole thing is like whatever records that I have are just homie presses and tests. Like I don't hold stock. Like these are free albums we give to the band, their friends, our friends, us, like to make sure that we have a listening copy. That's it. Something for us to hold down forever. Because, like, yeah, I could give myself a handmade or whatever. But then it's like taking money out of the band's mouth, you know?
Mhm.
Why would I want to? Why would I want to sell this one thing that's supposed to be like really special for them? You know, I mean, people like there's a lot of people that use Gotta Groove Records and Wax Mage, and you know they're charging $65 for a fucking Wax Mage copy. Do I think that's right? No, lower the price, dude. There's no reason why you should be charging that much. Are you offsetting the costs for the main run? Yeah, make less. I don't know what to tell you. Like, you know, don't overshoot. Try to like hit a sweet spot, you know? And this is why I like having an extended pre-order, you know? Like my wait times are now shrinking. Like as we get closer to the end of the year, it's going to be sub 6 months, which is like really solid these days. Like a 6 month wait is like the best you're getting. And that's because we placed the order 6 months prior, you know? Um, but if you have enough time, just add more to your order and sell it when you get the rest of the run in or do something with it, you know? Like we've ordered bands tour copies. So like there's a couple of releases that like, you know, you're going to see them and there's going to be an extra variant that is not you don't know about till it comes in and then it's going to be available to buy on tour. And then you just go get it on tour. Go to a show.
Like that. It's always been super cool. Like, hey, you know, here's everything, but I'll go see. I actually think it was I don't even fucking remember at this point in time. It was years ago, but I was like, hey, we also have this, and I'm like, I'll take it. It's cool because
Dude.
like, yeah, cool because you know it circles back to you know that cash or that PayPal or that card that you're giving them is going to them instead
Yeah.
of you know if you're buying your record off of riserecords.com or some bullshit. It's like
It's like who the fuck is buying CDs?
fuck if you ask me, bro. I ain't got a CD player in my car. I don't own a CD player.
People that buy I found that people that buy CDs either really like CDs or they only buy CDs because it's the only physical media on the table. So if you just give them the other option, they're gonna buy the other option.
We just
So
saw
have a record
we just saw
player.
Downswing a couple of weeks ago, and they had a copy, like a CD, on the table. And I said, "Give me that." You know, someone
Yeah,
eat
they had
tonight.
both. They had the EP and they had Good Intentions. They had both.
It was just
Yeah.
a direct
And
way to
then Rob
support.
had fucking vinyl. I was like, holy shit, let's go.
You're gonna look for a way to support, but also is like, you know, I feel like most people enjoy records more because, you know, the art's bigger to hold. Pretty disc, right? And then I don't know, some people are like me. They like to put a record on, roll up a joint, hang out on the couch, fuck around, make some art, do nothing. You
I feel
know,
like
it's a
records
very
too, it's kind of a more
therapeutic.
intense experience. Like you have to,
Yeah.
you know, you'll be like, oh shit, you know, flip side, you kind of got to pay attention to it versus CD, you pop it in.
Clean
I
it.
want to listen to this track. You want to listen to a certain track on record, you gotta fucking know where that needle drops, boy. Like,
I always buy vinyl on tour. Always. Any show I go to, if there's a record, I'm buying it.
that's when his story even mentioned that. And he's like, I buy vinyl at shows and immediately regret needing to protect it for the whole show.
Well, no, I literally leave. This is gonna sound a little crazy because some people are gonna be like, "You're a fake fan, bro." I'll leave like 4 songs early. I'll go buy my record, and then I'll go stand in the back by the door.
Fuck
And the
yeah,
second the song's over, I leave.
I'm into that shit.
I don't put my shit in danger. Like, you know what I mean? If I'm gonna buy a record, I'm taking the L because I know what I'm getting in.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, I wanted to ask you this last question so we could pack up and get the fuck out of here. We've taken a lot of your time, and you've told us so much information, more than I thought you would, and I'm so glad that you brought all this to the table for us.
You want more? I got a lot of tea.
Then we'll have to do a second episode, and I'm sure people would love to see you come back. But for the group we have here right now, and the people that have been hanging out and chat with us and just hanging out, you got any future information for the select few that are here right now? Any future drops that you want to sprinkle in here?
Well, next month we're doing a 2008 Deathcore Delight. I'll call it that. If you're in Metal and Core Collectors, you probably saw Norberto's post exposing the test press in 4K HD, 2020 googly eye vision, because that was right in front of everybody's faces. Other than that, we have a lot of we have a returning artist in September. They just had a release. They had 2 releases with us last year, so if you're smart, you'll figure that one out. And then November, we have a band that just dropped a record, and it's a good fucking album. So I'm very excited for that. We have a lot of things on press next month. If things like kind of work out well, should be July, August. We'll be seeing about 3 releases. And then from there on out, dude, we're getting everything in hand once a month. We're getting at least a release a month till July next year. So everybody that has waited so far, fucking thank you. It means the absolute world to all of us, the fact that you have put your trust and patience in us for this long. Because, I mean, I'm anxious as shit, man. The fact that I've just been, like, paying people and holding money and being like, I swear this vinyl's going to show up. It's insane. It takes a little bit of a stress toll on me. Because, I try to be as transparent as possible. I have a lot of fucking responsibility to a lot of people right now. But I'm always trying to do the right thing. And I know the entire team is doing their best to make sure we're all on the same page of doing the right thing by everybody. If you missed out on Frog Mallet shorts, we're going to have more soon. I think we're going to do an open pre-order this time. So if you missed out, you're in luck. Other than that, we got some summer SGR swag coming up. I think late next month, if everything's right, it's in hand. So it's like, I try to do the merch in hand, like no pre-orders. Just give somebody something to, like they click buy, they get in the mail a week later. That way it's like, hey, he's not a piece of shit. Other than that, man, yeah, that's kind of what we have planned. Next year, 2023 is going to be big popping on campus. I mean, we're starting the year fucking strong. Hopefully we have a lot more big things lined up. I mean, we got a bunch of returners. So bands we already worked with this year, working with them again next year. We got some smaller bands coming up that we're helping out with stuff for tour. That's going to be really sick. And, yeah, I mean, most times I expose a lot of this shit on Twitter. Like, I'll just say shit and nobody ever sees it. And I don't know how. Like,
That's because I'm funnier than you, Chris. You should let me run your Twitter.
No, because then people will know. So, see, it's great that I do it, and I'm not that funny, because then it works out in my favor.
It works out for you when you leak shit.
Yeah, no, if you did it, like, I'd be viral tomorrow. And then it's like, oh, fuck, everybody knows everything now. You know how many fucking DMs I'm going to get that are like, bro, how can I get a homie press for this fucking record, dude? I'm going to be like, I don't know. Buy me a beer. Like, what do you want from me?
Someone said from Joy in chat, and I just want to say fucking please. I fucking love Geo. I love that
follow
band.
me on Twitter today? Like, are you... So, dude, this is like, oh, man, this is the wildest shit. Because it's like, we can't even post, like, a clip where we're like, hey, listen to this band. They're really fucking cool. They're like, SGR press went, bro. Oh, my God, is that next month's drop? I can't wait. And I'm like, dude, you ever just, like, listen to music? Like... You ever just sit down and go, hey, that's a cool album? Like, I can't even do that.
Press it now. Right now.
Press it now, baby. Like.
Oh, yeah. Well, then, then my next response is, okay, sure.
Okay, yeah.
So, yeah, why not, man? Like, I'll fucking do it. Me at Rise Records, let me press there. Like, for the love of God. Like, I'm going to keep tweeting that every day until it happens.
Rise Records. I know I have like 5 or 6 homies personally. If you dropped The Air I Breathe, they would literally sweat their asses off trying to cop the entire spread.
I'd sell 500 copies easily.
You sell out minutes on that shit, but they don't want to fucking do it. That's just like I don't remember what label they were on, but I remember talking to the guys back in the day. If you ever press anything fucking King Conquer, like you press 1776. That's it. You're good.
I would love to work with King Conquer and Kingmaker. Honestly, any band with King in front of their name, like they're just automatically hard as fuck. Like I don't
Oh, yeah.
understand. I don't understand. But yeah, 1776 and America's Most Hated, we really wanted to do, but it's on Media Scare, and
Yep, that's who it was.
unfortunately, Media Scare has a chokehold. I pray to God they just let the rights go. I mean, this is a shout out for every big label. If you're holding rights over dead bands' heads, just give them the rights back. Just let them make a couple dollars off of their, early 20s. Like these people are in their 30s now, with kids and jobs. Like, an extra couple $100 in their pocket's not going to kill you. Like, just let it go. Like, let the rights go. I mean, I'm not going to sell 4,000 copies of America's Most Haunted, I'm going to sell 300 at most, maybe, if we're lucky. Because, like, realistically, it's like, how many people care about a lot of these albums, Not like a lot, but not as many as you think. Because, like, we've had releases sitting up in the store for months. Like, kids care, but sometimes they don't care that much. And it's like, a lot of these albums, people don't care that much. Like, why are you holding Design the Skyline over my head for $10,000? Who the fuck is going to pay $10,000 for Design the Skyline?
I wouldn't pay like $10 for the Sound of the Sky, but that's
Most
me.
people won't even give me $5 for that fucking album. But I'll do it. I'm not spending 10 grand. But, like, I'd love to fucking print that. You gotta love this industry, man. It's a very weird, backwards ass thing.
Listen, you brought up Design the Skyline, and I'm like, all right, let's all go home. But I'm going to stop us right here because you've been super generous with your time and with all this information. Like, this has been super educational. A lot of times we're just spitting shit with a close buddy who plays like guitar, and we're like, hey, this is fun. But this has been so educational, and I'm super stoked on it, and I hope the listeners have like enjoyed hearing your perspective on everything. So I want to thank you so much for doing this with us.
Totally. I appreciate the space to allow me to drink an ice cold IPA and talk shit. For everybody listening, I absolutely love when you guys DM us, tag us and stuff. Don't take me going, oh, leave me the fuck alone as like, a harsh leave me alone. Like, bother me. Not about stupid shit, but bother me.
I bother you every day on Twitter. It's all right.
Yeah, like I'm just a dude, man. Like I'm not some like fucking Hollywood guy. I'm a dude who cuts hair in New York and prints metalcore records. I mean, it's like I'm a decent human being. Like I'll help you where I can.
He's humble. I love it. But
it's only because I'm on air. Catch me off air.
Catch him in the streets. Not the same. Yo, Chris, thanks for hanging out with us tonight. I'm gonna set you free. And be on the lookout for a 2008 deathcore oldie. I think I'm gonna be kind of peering in there and taking a look because that's like my sweet spot too. So I can't wait to see what it is.
Oh yeah, man! It was one of those. Somebody started a rumor before we even worked with the band, and they were somehow right, and I don't even understand that.
There's only so many to pick from.
Yeah, no, they were like, "Oh, are you working with so and so?" And I was like, "No." And then like 2 months later, I was like, are they a time traveler?" Like what? It's
all right,
nuts, man.
All right, man.
Love our lives.
I'm gonna kick you out. We're gonna close it down. Thank you so much for being with here, man.
Rock and roll, everybody.
Rock and roll. Damn, dude. A lot of information.
It was, for sure.
Let's see. What's the chat saying? He probably just wants to end. I have work in the morning, so.
Bro, I'm up for work at 5:45, and I'm still drinking fucking whiskey.
6 o'clock. Hey, I have anxiety about my time, but. God
Panic making burgies before the set.
Yeah, and I didn't think they came out very good. Kaylin said they were pretty good, but I was like, I'm fucking burning them, and I burnt her. I toasted her buns, and I was like, I burnt them, and holy fuck, it's all going
Smelled
wrong.
Pretty good when I came in.
I don't know. I'm still new to seasoning shit. I'm a white person,
I'm a chronically white person.
Help me, I'm white. But yeah, this was a really awesome episode. No work. I had to do no work. So
Yeah.
thank you guys. I just
It's always nice.
had to sit back, drink my bush latte, and just
Bush lattes,
bush latte
baby.
and let it run loose.
Shit, we got Merc on the PBR sponsorship. We need a fucking Sound Corner Bush Latte sponsorship.
Yes, we do. But I want to thank all the new people hanging out in chat. We have been the Sound Corner. You can find us on Spotify. You can find this on Apple Podcasts, Amazon Audible, even YouTube. If you don't wanna, subscribe to all those shitty music services that we put our podcast on. But yeah, you can find us anywhere, and you can re-listen to this and subscribe, leave us a review, and that's we got we got some great episodes coming up.
I literally struggled not to tell like half the people about what's coming up because like I'm jazzed about it, like genuinely like it's cool. I made a joke to Chris earlier, like I'm like, dude, half the fucking viewership and half our ideas are coming from people tagging people in our fucking posts. Like,
Yeah, we got
some
some.
of this shit that's coming up is gonna like, this one I was absolutely looking forward to, and then we got a couple. July is gonna be like the end all, and then we have the show in August, and some really interesting stuff coming in August. Like, that's gonna be fun.
Yeah, the July is gonna be a mix of extremely heavy hitters. We got some sentimental guests on there. It's gonna be a great contrast. I'm really excited for it. So thanks for watching when we go live and just even leaving the chat open and everything, because we're just doing our little passion project here. We work every day, and so coming on here to talk to a couple musicians, because we all love music, we play music, it really has been super great to us, and we appreciate every single one of you. And I think we'll shut her down. What do you think, boys? Got anything else?
That's a good night, baby. That's a good night.
That's a big fat good night. But yeah.
Go do your homework, kids.
Go do your homework, eat your dinner, and then you can have dessert. Don't stay up too late. It's bad for you.
I had ice cream for dinner. I'm not allowed to say anything.
I ate ice cream at 2 p.m. Okay.
I still need to eat dinner. Actually, I still need to make dinner because I literally just walked in the door, changed, and just sat down for the podcast immediately.
It be the grind.
And then we do have Discord. We've got Twitter.
Yeah, I'll
There's
leave
a
the
Facebook
links.
group. Chris made an Instagram this morning because I told him to after a long time. I'm not even on Instagram. I fucking hate that app. But you know what? We got socials. Go follow him. He gave me the run of Twitter. I still have to log into it. So if you see some heinous bullshit on Twitter, that's me. Because I'm funnier than everybody.
Yeah, join our Discord. We're always hanging out in there. I mean, we need more people every day to come in and drop memes. Drop what you're listening to. It's super sick. Join our Facebook group, where typically we do share the news of what's coming up. I haven't been very good about it. So I've been definitely focusing on Twitter and Instagram and Spotify and all that stuff. So do all that. Join all that. Hang out with us. Be our friends. Join the community. We love all of you. And big kiss. Good night.
Night, everybody.
Night, y'all. Have a good night.